Thank you for joining us to learn. In this video, we will be discussing an overview of the Nursery Value Select program, which is also known as NVS. Additionally, we will cover information on the available options and endorsements. For detailed information, contact your local crop insurance agent. To start, we'd like to provide an overview of NVS. NVS is a crop insurance program developed to protect nurseries against losses to their container or field-grown plants. The program is available nationwide in every county across the country. It offers simple enrollment and loss adjustment processes. NVS has two sets of program dates, one for the Eastern Seaboard and Gulf Coast states, and one for the rest of the U.S. It also eliminates the need for the eligible plant list and plant price schedule and associated software packages, which are required under the Nursery Field Grown and Container program. Finally, the occurrence loss option can be added to your policy, which changes the deductible at a unit level to a copay at a damaged plant level for an additional premium. In addition, the endorsement Hurricane Insurance Protection Wind Index is available for NVS. It covers a portion of your deductible. Why should you purchase NVS? NVS is flexible, allowing you to select the dollar amount of coverage that best fits your risk management needs. Coverage is available for container or field-grown plants. For additional levels of coverage, you can further tailor your coverage by choosing to insure any of the 10 plant categories. The enrollment process is simple. It simply requires you to report monthly inventory values and then select a value for the entire year, not to exceed your highest reported monthly inventory value. This selected value becomes the basis for your amount of insurance. NVS's loss adjustment process is simple too. It relies on your actual sales receipts and on your collaboration with a loss adjuster to determine if a damaged plant can be marketed or rehabilitated. And what does NVS offer? This is a multi-peril dollar plan of insurance with coverage levels available from 50 to 75% in 5% increments, which is equivalent to a 25 to 50% deductible. Basic units are the only unit structure available and may be further divided by plant category within the practice or for field-grown practice only, non-contiguous land. Your loss is determined using your inventory. The insurance period is 12 months. Depending on location, it runs from June 1st through May 31st or October 1st through September 30th. Now, how do you know if your operation is insurable? To be eligible for NVS coverage, you must derive at least 40% of your gross income from the wholesale marketing of plants. Gross income is determined by dividing the dollar value of wholesale plant sales by the total dollar value of all plant sales, both retail and wholesale. Any income from sales of landscaping, chemical, or other nursery-related products, or from any business unrelated to nursery, is not included in this calculation. Here is an example showing how to determine whether we would consider your nursery a wholesale operation. A nursery's retail plant sales are $150,000 and wholesale plant sales are $300,000. Nursery-related product sales include $75,000. You would be considered a wholesale operation because 2/3 of your plant sales are from the wholesale marketing of plants. Additionally, to be eligible, You must submit a crop insurance application, a Nursery Value Report, or NVR for short, a Monthly Unit Value Plan, or MUVP, and copies of your most recent catalog. Your agent will explain the NVR and MUVP to you and may assist you in completing these forms. A common question for NVS is, do I have to insure all my plants? When it comes to insuring your plants, you do not need to insure them all. You may elect to insure your field-grown practice, container-grown practice, or both. If you elect an additional level of coverage, you may also choose which plant categories within a practice to insure. Once you choose the plant categories, you must insure all plants within those plant categories. Another important consideration is how the amount of insurance is determined. Your amount of insurance is determined by multiplying your selected value, coverage level, price selection percentage, and share. The selected value is chosen by you based on the information you report on your MUVP. There are some limitations on the selected value you can choose, depending on your level of coverage. Learn more from your crop insurance agent. And how much do you get paid when there is a loss? How much you would get paid, also known as an indemnity, starts with determining several important numbers by working with a loss adjuster. To start, pre-loss actual unit value and post-loss damage value must be determined. The pre-loss actual unit value is the total value of all insurable plants immediately prior to the loss occurrence. The post-loss damage value is the total dollar value lost immediately after the loss occurrence. Next, the percent of loss is determined, which is the post-loss damage value divided by the pre-loss actual unit value. Finally, the occurrence deductible is determined, which is the amount you must incur for the specific loss event before an indemnity is payable. Once these values are identified, the percent of loss is then multiplied by the lesser of the pre-loss actual unit value or the selected value to arrive at the value of the loss. Finally, the indemnity is calculated by multiplying your share by the difference between the loss and the occurrence deductible. The total indemnities for the crop year cannot exceed your amount of insurance. Now let's get into the available options and endorsements. The OLO is an option available at additional levels of coverage for additional premium. The OLO eliminates the unit deductible, effectively resulting in a higher coverage level. When the percent of loss is equal to or greater than 10%, you may be eligible for an indemnity. This is helpful if you are interested in managing the risk of a total loss of plant inventory and/or frequent shallow losses. And what about endorsements? Hurricane Insurance Protection Wind Index, also known as HIPWE, is an endorsement for crop insurance policies that provides coverage for a portion of the deductible, up to 95% of the expected crop value. Indemnity payments are made when the county or an adjacent county is within the area of sustained hurricane winds from a named cyclone as determined by the hurricane data provisions. If the tropical storm option is elected, half of the value is paid for the first tropical storm occurrence. The remaining value is paid in the event of a subsequent tropical storm or hurricane. You do not need to submit a notice of loss for the endorsement. But how much will be paid with this endorsement? A HIP-WE payment is the difference between the base coverage and 95% of the expected value of the crop. A real-life example might look like a grower who has an NVS policy and the HIP-WE endorsement. Let's say the expected value is $100,000, and there is a 65% coverage level provided by the NVS policy. A HIP-WE payment would equal $30,000 for this policy. For the same NVS policy with the HIP-WE endorsement and the tropical storm option, the payment would equal $15,000 when a qualifying tropical storm occurs. If two qualifying tropical storms occur or a qualifying hurricane, then the indemnity payment would also be $30,000. It is important to point out that the NVS policy could also pay an indemnity to the nursery in addition to the amount of the HIP-WE payment, depending on the results of a loss adjustment. We appreciate you joining us today. Visit the RMA website to learn more or talk to your crop insurance agent. To find a crop insurance agent, use the Agent Locator tool at the link on your screen.